Good evening. The first of my 5 new technologies I am going to discuss with you today is called abcya.com. So just abcya.com. I am an early childhood teacher, but this, as you can see, does apply to many grade levels. We have pre-K clear through 5th grade. The topic of this one is, for me, it's more letter and number work, just from kind of what I focused on, but it also does hit on a few other areas that you might want to address. So a few things to start off with. First off, why I love this website is because if you click up here for parents and teachers, there's a nifty feature where you can click on the Common Core standards, and I'll let it load. Then say I want to know what games apply to what standards. Well, for example, Fun with the Fridge game applies to standard L 1.1, demonstrate command of the conventions of standard English grammar and usage when writing or speaking. So obviously this is a more of an upper. This is obviously not just for my pre-K students, but I just wanted to demonstrate that how handy that is, that I could go in and see, okay, well, days of the week isn't applying to any Common Core standards, but Marble Math is applying to all of these standards. So super, super neat feature as far as the parents and teachers. Now, this is a free website, and I like this because obviously it can be used on any device, Apple, Android, a computer, just the cell phone like web browser. So there is that option. There's a class login if you'd like to subscribe. Now you can pay. The cool thing is if I pay $39.99 a month, I can use it on up to 30 devices, where a family one is much cheaper. You could do 3 devices though for a family. So super neat. I also appreciate that this website has no ads. Sometimes a worry on other sites as a teacher is you never know what ads might pop up. So here we are on the pre-K level, and I was going to just kind of show a few things I found. So ABC letters, we work a lot on those, obviously. So you can just see there's some really neat games. Trace to the beat, so this is one I'm going to click on just for example, just to show you one. I know some of you are upper elementary or middle school and high school, so this might not be
Trace to the beat. Numbers and letters.
And my students love music, so that's why I chose this one in particular.
Capital letters, lowercase letters.
I love that it addresses, capital, lowercase, or numbers, because sometimes they still do get that
Rock,
confusion.
Pop, classical, island.
We're going to choose pop music, so it gives them a lot of choice.
Following the dotted lines. Start at the arrow and go all the way to the end. The hand will show you where to start and get off track.
So super fun, super interactive. You can see why they would like something like this. And then you can go on through the alphabet. I'm going to go ahead and click off of this one just so that you don't have to listen to that music. I'm going to jump over to numbers really quick. For example, this one is connect the dots, sorry. Connect the dots. Let it load. Internet isn't always the quickest.
Connect the dots to make a picture.
So see, I like this then because, maybe for my students that aren't as high academically, maybe I just want to do 1 to 10. Or maybe for some of my upper math students, maybe I want to have them connect the dots to a higher number. I was checking back in to see what the highest was. Yeah. So, you can see that they're more advanced. They could do 81 to 100, or you could have them play all. So a little bit more about this website. The goal overall for me on this website is, to use this as practice activities. Center time, we like during our centers to do some interactive activities, and it's just very engaging overall. One more section I really liked that I'm looking forward to using is if you go to this video section, there are these art videos, and my kids like to sometimes be independent learners, so you could almost use this as a STEM project where you provide them with the materials and you might let this play and see, for example, how it turns out. So let's go ahead and do the coffee filter snowflake. Everybody has seen those, but if you go, oh, there we go. We'll see if it can load without lagging. We'll let it continue to load. We do have a little ad here. Okay, a coffee filter snowflake, just 2 minutes, not long. It shows what they'll need, their coffee filter as a whole, and then it shows the finished product and the scissors. So it just kind of walks them through it. And like I said, sometimes just to use it almost as a STEM activity to see what they can create and kind of how they follow the steps, that can be something good for me as a teacher to see, how did they follow those step-by-step action. So I'll fast forward a little bit so we don't have to watch too much of that, but you can see, and then it'll open it up and give them the final product. So I just thought that could be fun, and those could be for really any grade, I feel like. There's origami, an alligator puppet, some popsicle stick crafts. So as we were saying, this is, the purpose of this is, just for some extra activities, letters, numbers. There are some skill activities also that you might notice. Now, this is obviously intended for my students. Now, I could use this as a resource for my parents to use as well, since, like I said, it works on any device, just using the web browser. So I could use this as a reference if parents were looking for activities that they might want their child to do. But overall, for my students during centers and in our classroom. The two ISTE standards that were covered, I'm going to click over so I can read them. I went with, as a facilitator, we are fostering a culture where students take ownership of their learning goals and outcomes in both independent and group settings. In this, they need to know their goal for actually doing this game. It's not just to play a game. What are we trying to learn? What are we trying to achieve? And 6B, manage the use of technology and student learning strategies in digital platforms, virtual environments, hands-on maker spaces, or in the field. So, this is one of those digital and virtual environments that kind of gives them the opportunity to do some learning on their own. So that is the first of my 5 technology resources. Thank you.